As night fell, the residents of Diepsloot, north of Johannesburg, were out on the streets. Burning tyres are lighting up the streets as the community again decries the lack of police visibility. Our reporter Manqoba Mchunu is on the ground in Diepsloot and he joins us now. Manqoba, speaking to you a little bit earlier, you sketched the picture of residents in Diepsloot absolutely fed up with the level of crime in the township after a number of people were killed over the weekend. No response from the police to try and deal with the crime issues in Diepsloot. What are some of the community members telling you as you spend time with them, getting to understand the issues that they deal with day to day? We do remind you our visuals from Diepsloot are not the best. Our signal is breaking up a little bit, but we'll try and get the essence from Manqoba. Manqoba, can you hear me?
Yes, Andy, I can hear you, and I can tell you that tensions are really high here. As you can see, the community members are still out here on the streets. It's hundreds of community members that have come out here tonight in protest, protesting over the issue of high crime in this particular community. And what are some of those community members that have targeted some of the shacks that they say are where the criminals are in this community, where some those criminals will then go and seek shelter after committing their crime, where they will actually, store some of their spoils. And what we're seeing there are some of the community members that are now taking matters into their own hands. They are dismantling some of these shacks. They are burning some of those shacks and in the community, of course, saying that they want an end to crime in this community. They want the police to do their job as far as crime is concerned in this area. And you can see, Andy, here some of the community members pulling apart literally those structures, and they are burning those particular structures. They are saying that they want the criminals out in this community, and it doesn't seem like they're getting the right attention as far as the police are concerned, as far as raising the issues.
There don't seem to be any police in any of these visuals that you're showing us, Manqoba, and that's quite notably missing. Has there been any police presence on the ground in Diepsloot this evening?
Well, and we have seen some police vans just here outside in the periphery of the township, and we haven't seen them, though, here inside this particular protest or near this particular protest. I can tell you, Ali, that the cars that we saw, it was just the vehicles that were stationed on the main road, the 5R11, where, we don't know whether the police were actually to come here to this area, but I can tell you, Ali, that the situation is definitely out of control as far as what's sitting here on the ground. The fires that here at the grounds, everywhere here, the street ablaze. There are fires all over this particular area, and this just gives you a sense of just how frustrated these residents are about the crime in this area. It follows, of course, some of the incidents that have occurred in just the past few weeks. We understand that about 3 weeks ago, 3 people were robbed and killed in this very community, and this is what sparked the protest that we saw, where residents had taken that memorandum to the police, demanding police to act and demanding them to take matters as far as crime is concerned in this community. But they say that has not happened. In fact, last week we understand that 2 more people were killed. In fact, there were 3 that were shot at, 2 of them had died, and the third one, we understand, dying just yesterday from his injuries. So it is quite tense, and in fact, community members are telling us that they even fear walking on the streets here. The people that would come back in this community from work in the late hours are the people that say that they're being attacked, they're being terrorized by these community, or rather these criminals in this community. So it's a community that is saying enough is enough with crime, but obviously their methods of saying this are quite hostile at this particular moment. The situation is quite volatile. This township, I tell you, Andy, literally everywhere you turn, there are fires in this particular community because the residents, they are tired election here in this community? Well, there are quite a number of them. They're scattered all over this particular township. And as you heard, Andy, from one of the residents that we spoke to earlier on, saying that, they are fed up as far as crime is concerned. They say that the police have been here in this community. They see the police visibility, but those police are not doing anything to try and help as far as that situation is concerned. So their own hands, they are torching some of those shacks. They are dismantling some of those shacks here in this community to try and perhaps get the attention of authorities. They say that they're tired of promises that have been made by police. We know that of course the police minister was here in Diepsloot on numerous occasions, in fact 2 times last year in April, when there's again incidents of high crime in this community, but also last year around October, the minister coming here and speaking to residents, promising that the police are going to do their best to try and curb criminal activities in this particular area. But of course those have been continuing according to residents here. But I want to bring in one of the community leaders here just to get a sense from them about what we're seeing here. Of course these visuals here, what we're seeing here today is what community members. So if I can just ask you, here, of course, these are quite shocking. We're seeing quite a lot of fires here. I mean, what is happening and why are these shacks being burned?
What you're seeing here is the anger of the community. You remember last week, previous Friday, you were here. The community decided to do eradicate crime on their own. I mean to say, to do it on their own. They went house to house, demolishing shacks that were alleged to be harboring criminals, and they were expecting the president to come and address these issues because they feel that the Minister of Police has not addressed the issue, has not came with a permanent solution. So what we are seeing today, the community is demolishing these structures that are on the road because they believe it is the hiding place of criminals. It is where criminals hide during the night. When people come from work, going to their houses, criminal will come out of these places and attack them, so they're demolishing them. Indeed, they're intensifying the strike today to say the call of say we want the president to come here. We have more than 2 visits from the Minister of Police that has resulted to nothing. After the strike previous Friday, 2 people were gunned down, died in the arms of criminals. A day later after that, a chairperson of CPF was shot. Yesterday we heard that he lost his life in hospital. So indeed, the solution that are brought by the minister are not permanent solution. Hence, we are calling for the president to come with a permanent solution and bring all the relevant departments that we think that can assist us in making sure that we bring about a permanent solution in our community.
You handed over a memorandum to the police just 2 weeks ago where you have raised some of your demands. Has there been any response to that? And surely you had given them some time to respond. But I see that community members are saying that they can't even wait anymore because of the criminality in this community.
Nothing whatsoever we received from the police. We've cried that these vans that they were deployed by the minister, they're only patrolling on the main road. Indeed, there was no change. The following day, 2 people were killed. A day after that, another person was shot. Unfortunately, he lost his life. Up to so far, we've lost 4 people after our strike on Friday. So it seems our memorandum that we've handed to the police have beared no fruits at all.
But one would say that, violence really does not resolve things, and that perhaps there are better ways, of sorting things, because, I mean, these are people's shacks that are being destroyed. This, is destroying the very infrastructure that the community needs as well. Is this the only way that community members can resolve this issue?
These infrastructure, these shacks that are here, are the danger to our society, are the danger to our community. Hence, they must be demolished. It seems like the community feels like the only way that you can have an ear from our government is through this. Hence, they resorted to this.
So what happens now with this protest? We know that, the issues have still not been resolved. Where to from here?
The community is saying they will continue doing this to intensify this up until the president come down with relevant departments. After he's done resolving issues of Ukraine and Russia, he must come down to South Africa and resolve domestic issues that are affecting us as people of South Africa. So we're calling him in Diepsloot. We've been calling for him. So the community feels as if the only way that can make our leaders to listen to us is to through this. Hence, they've resorted to that.
And also I've heard, some of the people saying that, some of the crimes here are being perpetuated by people that are not from this community, and that they want these people gone. What is that all about? And it sounds like it has some, xenophobic. What would you say to that?
Indeed, Manqoba, there's a sense of illegal immigrants, that foreigners that are in our community are a problem. Let me tell you one of the things that we found out. We have a problem of leaders in our community. For example, for the past 3 years, we've been relocating people to another area which is called Riverside, where you live in these spaces. Some of these called leaders in our community will give those spaces to people that we don't know. So, indeed, there is a sense of that illegal immigrants or foreigners in our community are a problem. Majority of them are the ones who are committing this crime. It is not something that we are creating in our heads. It is a fact. You can even go to the police station and ask the stats for yourself. The station commander will tell you that some of the crimes that are committed in Diepsloot, they cannot resolve because some of them are committed by illegal foreigners that are in our country. Hence, we are calling for the president to come, because some of the issues that we're facing in our country, they need a state president, because they include police, they include justice system, they include a minister of home affairs and other departments that the president must, when he's coming, must bring them along.
So the protest continues.
The protest, the community, as is saying, the protest will continue up until umongameli azebantwini.
Okay, thank you very much. That's Loyiso Toyo, who's one of the community leaders. I just want to show you around here so that you get a sense of just what's happening in this community. These are some of the stalls that have been destroyed by community members, some of them occupied by those that do not come from this community, some of them from outside of the country. And of course, they're saying that they want to see all of these shops dismantled, because they are saying that these are the very shops that harbor these criminals, that protect these criminals in this community. And so the community taking matters into their own hands, they're saying that this particular protest is going to intensify, it's going to continue. Of course, they're not happy at this particular stage with the answers or no answers that they've received from the as fighting crime in this community is concerned. They're saying they want the president to come and address them, to come and hear their concerns, and to make sure that they curtail the crime in this community, which they say is out of hand as things stand.
Thank you so much, our reporter Manqoba Mchunu, coming to us from Diepsloot there. We'll be back with you shortly. Do stay with us here on Newsnight.